You all good?
Yep. Very good.
All right. Need sound test? 1, 2.
Gotcha.
Got it? All right. You just want to start why we're doing this? The Pasco Sheriff's Office, we decided to partner with Exos because we want to make sure that our performance and what our deputies and our members are doing is at its highest peak. And, you know, whether it be out in the field chasing somebody down, somebody in the jail, reacting, having to run up and down steps, you know, there is a performance part to what we do. And that performance is to save lives out in the community and save lives within the jail. So one of the things that people look at when you look at, you know, at training, physical training, is that, yeah, this is a physical job. You know, we're expected to jump over fences, to chase people down, to run in somewhere to save somebody, have to get in a fight sometime. And so we have to be at that top physical performance. So this is going to help our deputies in the fact that we'll be in a better performance to go out there and save people. It's a deputy safety issue. It's going to allow our members to reevaluate their training processes. What are they doing right now? And with Exos, how can we improve to get better? So those are those type of things that, you know, when we look at law enforcement in the future, we have to consistently look, you know, spiritually, mentally, and physically, how do we improve our members? There's a stress of the job. That's the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect. There's a physical aspect, and that's where we partner with Exos because there's a performance expectation. People expect us to resolve situations, whether there is a horrible situation we have to run into and save people, or a mental situation we have to solve a complex problem, but a lot of it comes down to how you're feeling. And when you have a good regimen, when you're eating the right way, sleeping the right way, drinking plenty of water, and physically exercising, you're performing at a much higher level. And that's why we want to be a part of this, because we consistently want to make sure that the Pasco Sheriff's Office, our members, are achieving peak performance.
Was there a specific reason you wanted to put it here at the jail?
Right. It's facility-wise. You know, for us, members at the jail, this is the largest amount of members we have in the Sheriff's Office congregate at one place. So for us, we wanted to make sure we reached the most amount of our members. The other one is centralized here in Atlanta Lakes. So if deputies from across the county want to come in here, they have an easier access place and go into one side of the county or the other. So that's why we wanted to bring it here, but we are working out with our district offices to make sure that the facilities are there. And one of the things that we're talking about with Exos is bringing on interns, because we know this is a growing field. We know this is something that a lot of people are getting into because they're realizing when you're trying to raise performance in an organization, the physical aspects of what we do, the mental aspects and the spiritual access, those are things that are critical. So we're looking to get interns in the future to come in here to work with Exos that are going to make us a better organization.
Can you talk a little bit more about, you're talking about the spiritual, mental, and physical, how they all go together. I mean, in this day and age, this is a huge issue with law enforcement.
Right. You know, when you look at those three things, you know, spiritual, mental, and physical, they play a component in what we all do. But most importantly in law enforcement. Those are things that every day we have to make critical decisions. I mean, we're in stressful situations because we're seeing the worst of the worst of society. You know, we don't go to when people are having their best days, we're going to people having their worst days. So that's that aspect of it. The other side is the mental and the physical and the spiritual is that, you know, we deal with evil things in society. And that's why we have a large chaplain corps. We want to make sure the chaplain corps, the family support network are there for us spiritually. Then there's the physical aspect. There is a physical toll on our bodies. You know, if you're working midnight shift and your normal hours are 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., you know, that's not normal. It's not normal for your body to be sleeping when it's sunlight out and to be awake and working when the moon's out. So that's why we're consistently trying to make sure that physically our people are eating properly, drinking properly, working out properly, so they have the best tools possible to be successful. And so what Exos does is come in here and gives that ability for our members to have one-on-one conversations, you know, talk about things about how they can perform better, how they can work out better, because there's a skill set. You just don't walk into a gym and decide, I'm just going to start throwing around weights and doing things. There's a method to it. And, you know, with Exos here, you're actually able to say, what's your work schedule? What are your job performances? What are your needs or your duties? Let me work on those things. I mean, think about it. We wear these gun belts. They're heavy. These are heavy gun belts we wear all day long. We wear Kevlar vests all day long. You know, we have to make sure our lower backs are supported. We have strong lower backs, strong lower legs, that we're able to run. It depends on deputies. You're getting in and out of a car all day long. You know, you may have to carry around heavy equipment. If you're in a jail, you're going up and down stairs, you're moving, doing different things. So depending on what your job duties are, that's where Exos will come in and say, these are the expectations, these are exercises you need to concentrate on, because that will make you better in the future. And one of the things that's actually ironic is deputies getting in and out of a car. You would think getting in and out of a car is a normal thing. People do it all day long, but at the same time as when your deputies are consistently doing 12 hours a day, getting in and out, you know, you're putting more pressure on the left side of your body than you're on your right side. So those are little things that play into it. And we also want to make sure that the deputies, workers' comp is a major issue for everybody. We want to make sure that they're safe, that they're doing the proper things, because to have deputies that are out in the street working or in the jail working rather than out on disability and workers' comp issues, it doesn't help us as a society and doesn't help us as a law enforcement agency.
Getting out of the car, I can certainly relate to that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should learn a little bit something. And I saw in the press release, this is actually kind of one of the first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Exos has been working a lot of times with professional organizations or with special operations in the military. And so this may be one of the first times that they've actually partnered with a law enforcement organization, but in reality, there's a lot of commonality because you're dealing with very stressful situations, very stressful for professional athletes playing, in front of tens of thousands of people, and those type of games and that type of pressure. The military, of course, they're going overseas, they're fighting for our nation, and they're in very stressful situations. But at the same time is you have deputies on the road or in the jail, by yourself in many situations. You have to make critical situations, and a lot of times it could be a physical situation or it has to be a mind game where you have to make the right decision to make sure everybody calms down. So that's why this is very important, because performance in what we do and driving it with the limited resources we have to maximize every opportunity with those limited resources.
How will this work? Is there a requirement that they do it, and will they'll be given time throughout the day to do this?
Yeah, as the requirements, we have a performance test every year. It's a performance evaluation test where deputies go in and they have to run, pull a sled, go through obstacles. So that is something as a performance standard we have every year. What this does just supplement it. We're asking our deputies, and they've come. This is something that, they're not being forced to do, because if you're forced, you're never going to succeed at the highest levels. When you want to do something, that's when you succeed. And when you see success in others, you're more likely to succeed yourself. And so that's why we're opening this up, and I can tell you, within the short amount of couple weeks that Chris has been here with Exos, he's had over, I think, a quarter of our agency already come in here, and that's only in a short couple weeks. So what we're trying to do is, as the word spread, as success spreads, people want to get involved in it. So success breeds success, and coming in here, this is those type of opportunities. The gym's accessible to them. They just have to go through the training process. The gym's always accessible before their shift, after their shift, or on the day off, they can come in here to use it.
What's the reaction been so far from the people that have been through?
Yeah, the reaction we're getting is that they're very excited about it. They're happy because, especially the fact that they're not sitting in a big room and everybody's talking. There is a classroom portion, but at the same time, there's one-on-one. And when there's that one-on-one, it gives them the ability to say, these are things specifically about me, because as human beings, we're all individuals. And we all have certain things that we want to focus on or we need to focus on. So it allows that one-on-one attention. And so that's where I think that's where we're going to be more successful, because when you just bring people into a classroom for 8 hours, they kind of, they don't want to bring up certain things. They don't want to talk about it. But when you're training with somebody and you say, hey, I have an issue with this, and that person is able to say, well, this is how you can modify that or change that and then make you more successful, that's where it breeds more success. All right. Oh, yeah, Chris. Here's the person who's actually doing it all. Make sure I got this one.
I have no idea.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
We'll walk you through it, don't worry.
I'll help you.
This one.
No, thank you.
This is you.
Thank you.
It's in my back pocket, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
You guys want a different background for Chris? You want to be in front of one of the machines?
That'd be awesome,
that'd be
yeah.
great if we could do
Do you
that.
mind if I put this
And
in
if he
your
wants to
back
walk
pocket?
around, he can do that as well, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be like kind of